going on, everybody? Welcome into What You Heard Reviews.
Yes. We are back with another fire review for the backside of your front side. But before we get going, y'all know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like and comment because you are loving the content. Now, we got a fire one, man. And this one was brought to us from outside sources. Mm-hmm. And it's always dope when we can tap into some music that we were unaware of.
Correct, man.
Now, This project has been out for a few months. It's been out for pretty much the bulk of 2023. But again, we're just getting tapped in.
Right.
And we always love to find independent artists, again, that we have not been tapped into. So we've got Will Kobus. And not this Zeke, but we've got Mettaworldzeke.
Right. Yep.
Not him.
Not me.
It takes a village. Mm-hmm. Let's get into it,
man.
Like Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, is this a project? At 100.
Well, that was a good one. 100. That was good.
I figured you might like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely
a project. When it comes to It Takes a Village, yes.
They talk about it throughout the project.
Yes.
I love that, right? Like it almost to a point where they beat you over the head with it.
Right.
But again, there's multiple what song is that? The France
Phononymous. France Phononymous.
Yes, thank you.
It's a little tongue twister.
It is.
France
That's why I was like,
Phononymous. Yes.
But even that one, talking about, what it takes for a village to survive, or what it means, right? Yep. And so it's sprinkled throughout the project.
Yes.
And I thoroughly enjoy that aspect of it.
Yes, and I'm gonna take that and kind of just go right into the flow of it, right? Because when it comes to the flow of this, I say it definitely has a flow, and it's gonna be twofold with the project. Because this is a very hip hop backpack style, if you will. Because it's sample heavy, but it's not going to be what you're used to with like maybe a Griselda. This is going to be more of like Nappy Roots. This is going to be more like 2000s Talib Kweli, where the bars are smooth, subtle, and the messaging is important. I think the way they use that to have some kind of up-tempo joints, but that are still soulful, very soulful. I think the flow is done very well.
I agree, dude. I think, to me, there's nothing wrong with the flow of this project.
Right.
I think it's done very well. I think it complements the project very well.
Compliments the artist as well.
Yes, very much so. And, having two artists, on and kind of going back and forth and then bringing in features and stuff like that, it can be messy.
It can.
And I really think these two guys really complement each other very well.
100%.
I really, truly believe that, right? Like, I love that they're two different styles.
Yes.
And they're not competing with each other. They're just doing their thing within that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I really do enjoy that.
Yeah.
So let's get into some standouts.
Let's get into standouts, man. I'm going to start first, man. I'm going to start with track number 2. This was actually the track that was presented to us. What You Think of Me. This took me back, man. I'm going to keep it a buck. This took me back to like 05. This took me back to Little Brother. This has that element that I think is really missing in mainstream hip hop of you can be upbeat, you can be up tempo, you can have the boom bap and still have that solid soulful hip hop without it being ratchet. And I think this gave me that vibe of smooth flows, soulful beats, and the messaging is fire.
The one I have is Definitions, man. Track number 1. If you know anything about me, this is where you're going to learn. Track number 1 means a lot to me.
That is
because
true.
If you don't hook me in track number 1, I more than likely am not going to listen to your project.
That's a fact.
And I don't know what it is about my brain, but I can't. It just is like I can't do it. It's hard to get past that one track if it's not good.
Right.
If it doesn't hook you in. And listen, man, it could be an intro track and still be okay and it hook me in.
Right.
So Definition's so good to me because it sets both of them up with bars.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What does it take to be an MC? Both of them kind of doing their thing of what it takes to be an MC.
100%.
Love it. It sets up this project really well for me.
It does.
So that's why.
Great point.
Yeah.
My next standout will be Day After Day.
I knew that you were going to pick that one. And
not the interlude.
Not the interlude.
Not the interlude. The actual song, Day After Day.
Day after day after
This
day
is
after day.
This is, in the words of the homie Matt. This is my jam.
Yeah.
This is what I'm. When it comes to hip hop, this is what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah.
And again, a different element, man. A different element, but using the smooth samples, the bar. I mean, I hate to say it over and over again, but that's what it is. Day after day, we need more day after days. You know what I'm talking
about? Right. It's definitely one of mine too, man. I would thoroughly enjoy this track, man. It's so good. The messaging is good to it too. The day after day after day. Again, I like when something's relatable, and this one's super relatable, and I just really do like that.
I'm with you.
And the next one,
okay,
that I have, I'll finish it off.
Yeah,
is Something Else. I really enjoy this track. First of all, it's really cool. I love samples, right, in track. There's a part of me that wants both. You know, I like when it's done well. I like good samples, and I like original beats and stuff too. Great sampled. It's just really well done. But the messaging, oh man, the messaging in this is so good to me.
Yeah. Because
again, it's relatable. It's there's a bar in here like you're 6'5", I'm 5'6". I want to be, it's always something else. It's like, I don't have that. I want that.
Right.
You have what I don't have.
Exactly.
And we all do it with hair, with looks, with whatever, money, whatever, car. I mean, you name it. We all do it in some sort of regard.
Yes, we do.
And I think that is super relatable.
Great point. Now, let's get into the replayability.
Replayability. This is an interesting one for me. This is in the medium range.
It is.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you why it's in the medium range for me. The reason is that there's a lot of wasted time, to put it in a way. So there's a lot of intros and outros in these tracks. So this is what 14 tracks.
14 tracks.
And it's an hour long, right? So it takes up a lot of your time. And I think that's why the replayability is lower, because I feel like to get to those, to meet of those songs are really well done.
Yes.
But there's a lot of fat on it.
And I'll kind of add to that a little bit. I don't think, I think, to your point, the fat, quote unquote, mm-hmm. I think if it was more like structured, mm-hmm. so like if you have one that's like a radio skit, mm-hmm. then you have one where a guy's talking, mm-hmm. then you have one where like they're talking in the background, out. Right? No, and what I would say is maybe have a through line theme mm-hmm. of like either the radio, mm-hmm. like It Takes a Village radio.
Oh, I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Have mm-hmm. People talking
mm-hmm.
in the background, like almost like there's a mic in the room, but mm-hmm. they don't know they're being recorded, like that vibe. Mm-hmm. Like have it a through line thing, mm-hmm. so it feels like, oh, this is the point we were trying to hit mm-hmm. home with,
right?
And I think that would add to instead of take away a little bit, because I feel like sometimes, like you said, it took away from the actual music that mm-hmm. was going down,
correct?
Right? Or separate them and turn them into actual small 30-second interludes.
Correct. Yes, I would agree. because it is just one of my pet peeves personally is when things are attached to songs constantly, and it's either in the intro or outro, and it's like, it's just a little bit. It's a little
especially
bit
on the intro.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of fat that I would say personally that I'm not really fond of.
100%. Now, is it a vibrant thing?
Oh, it's a vibe, bro.
It's a vibe.
It's definitely a vibe. It's definitely got a vibe. Again, this is very sample heavy, so it's got that sample vibey stuff to it, right?
Yep.
And that you're gonna vibe out to it. And I love it because there's bouncy tracks on here, but then there's the little bit slower melodical hip hoppy type of stuff that's going on. So it's definitely got a vibe to it, man.
Score time, baby.
Score time. I'll go first.
All right.
I give this an 8. This is a good project, man. It really is. It's solid. Again, the thing I have the most issue with is what we were just talking about, and it's just a little bit trimming of the fat, but it's a solid project, man. It's a through line through and through. These guys, they have bars, and I think they could do. Man, I'm excited to see what else, kind of comes about. So,
okay. I give this a 7.5. I think it's close. Right, I think it's close to an 8. Here's what I would say. Maybe cut 14 down to 12.
Right.
And or get rid of the intros and the outros or limit them. And let me just vibe out with the music. Yeah. I think that's it. Right. Give me about 45 minutes.
Right. Give
me a solid car ride.
Yeah.
Of just soulful beats, bars, all of that. And I think this has great potential. Now, I will say this. Shout out to Will Kobus. Shout out to Mettaworldzeke. I'm really looking forward to a lot more music, especially within this vein. And I hope we get a lot more. And I would love to see more of them as a tandem.
Yeah.
I would definitely be tapped in. So, yeah, that's what we got it, man. You got an 8, you got a 7.5. Solid project. You guys go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
Let us know down below what you guys think.
You guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
And I'm wondering what you guys think of this project. Not what you think of me, but what you think of this project. You know what I'm saying? And as always, it's only about what you heard. Peace.